Hi and welcome to another episode
of
of
Breaking Down the Deck.
Yes, and today we're both feeling super negative. Everything has just been in black and white.
Yeah, so emo. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, I'm breaking down my Mr. Negative deck.
What?
Sounding super happy. yes. So yeah, here he is. And yeah, before the Spider-Man set came out, I had no idea about Mr. Negative.
No.
But I just found this card and the ability like very intriguing. So I read up more about Mr. Negative, and it seems that he has an ability where he can force someone's feelings or thoughts to become very negative.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Exactly.
And I found that to be even cooler. So I wanted to build this deck and just to see how I can manipulate people's life totals and switch around, and yeah. Orzhov, I found this deck to be very fun, but let's see what it does. So Mr. Negative. Costly, 5 generic, then Orzhov, so 7. Human Villain. Vigilance, lifelink, but Dark Force inversion. So when Mr. Negative enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw them many cards. Quite simple.
Wow.
But effective.
Yeah, exactly, effective. So you don't have any way like to blink in to get your life back?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Wow.
We'll see.
Wow.
Are you ready to get get negative?
I am ready to get negative this time. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, everyone, here is my Mr. Negative deck tag, and I think Mr. Negative is such a cool commander, the way he can kind of manipulate everyone's life totals and switch around. It's really fun. So, first, we can read again what Mr. Negative does, of course. Quite costly commander, 5 generic, and then Orzhov, so 7 mana. Human Villain, Vigilance, lifelink. It has Dark Force inversion, which means when Mr. Negative enters, I may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw them many cards. So of course we love drawing cards and many cards. But first I'm going to show you the creatures that I have in the deck that have something to do with life gain or life loss, because that is very important in this deck. First we have Soldier of the Pantheon. For 1 white mana, it has protection from multicolored, and whenever an opponent casts a multicolored spell, I gain a life. Then we have the Sanguine Siphoner. For 1 generic, 1 black, Vampire Warlock. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses 1 life, and I gain 1 life. Then we have the Spirit of the Hearth, 4 generic and 2 white. It's a cat spirit, flying, but you have hexproof. So that is a pretty good ability to have. Then we have the Blitzwing Cruel Tormentor for 5 generic and 1 black. It's a robot. It has more than meets the eyes for 3 generic and 1 black. I may cast this card converted for 3 generic and 1 black. But here it says at the beginning of your end step, target opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. If no life is lost this way, convert Blitzwing. And let's see what it does on the other side. So on the other side it reads, Blitzwing Adaptive Assailant. It's a vehicle. Living metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose flying or indestructible at random. Blitzwing gains that ability until end of turn, and whenever Blitzwing deals combat damage to a player, convert it. So I can deal damage, convert it, and then this will trigger at the end step. So that's pretty cool. Then we have one of my favorite ones to have in my opening hand, and it is Soul Warden. For just 1 white, human cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life. Then we have the Vermin Gorger. For 1 generic, 1 black. It's a vampire. I can tap it and sacrifice another creature, and each opponent loses 2 life and I gain 2 life. Then we have the Gifted Aetherborn. For 2 black. It's an Aetherborn vampire. It has Death Touch and Lifelink. So lifelink is the most important thing for me because I do want to gain life in this deck. But Death Touch is good also. Then we have the Marauding Blight Priest. 2 generic and 1 black. Whenever I gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So this can be part of a combo. And if I have another card that says whenever an opponent loses life, I gain life. So it can become a loop and I can win that way. Then we have the Enduring Tenacity for 2 generic and 2 black. And whenever I gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And when this creature dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. So if someone removes this, it still comes back as an enchantment. Then we have Cauldron Familiar for 1 black. It's a cat. When Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. I can sacrifice a food and return Cauldron Familiar from your graveyard to the battlefield. But yeah, in this deck, making food's not really happening, but I just like that ETB trigger. It's fun. Then we have Aunt May for 1 white, Human Citizen from the Spider-Man set. Whenever another creature you control enters, I gain 1 life. If it's a spider, put a +1 counter on it. So if I have a lot of these Aunt May and Soul Warden kind of abilities right from the start, I will gain so much life, and my Mr. Negative Dark Force Inversion will be so much more effective. I will draw so many cards when I lose so much life. Then we have the Distinguished Conjurer for 1 generic, 1 white, Human Wizard. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, I gain 1 life. But for 4 generic and 1 white, I can tap it and exile another target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this is important because this deck is also a blink deck. So I do want to blink Mr. Negative so that I have options in certain situations. If I need to gain life, lose life, I want to be able to have both options ready. Then we have the Vampire Nighthawk, 1 generic, 2 black. Vampire Shaman, flying, Death Touch, lifelink. Nyx Fleece Ram, 1 generic, 1 white. It's a sheep. At the beginning of your upkeep, I gain 1 life. It's a 0/5. So it's a good blocker. Then we have the Ghostlit Redeemer for just 1 white mana. I can pay 1 white mana, tap it, and I gain 2 life. I can also channel it for 1 generic, 1 white. I can discard this card and gain 4 life. For 1 white, it's Allseed of Life's Bounty. It's a nymph, lifelink. I can pay 1, sacrifice this one, and target creature or enchantment I control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. So it's good if I need to protect Mr. Negative. Then we have 3 generic and 1 black. The Aetherborn Marauder. It's an Aetherborn rogue. Flying lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, move any number of +1 counters from other permanents you control onto Aetherborn Marauder. I just have this one for the flying and lifelink. My deck is not about putting +1 counters on creatures. Then we have the Vicious Conquistador for 1 black. Vampire Soldier. Whenever a Vicious Conquistador attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. Then we have a classic. We have Gary, Grey Merchant of Asphodel for 3 generic and 2 black. It's a zombie. When Gary enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. I gain life equal to the life lost this way. So this is good if I have other effects where it said like at the end step, opponents loses as much life to lost on my turn. I have a few of those cards, so I'm going to show you. Here's another good example. It's the Bloodladder of Aclazots for 1 generic, 3 black. It's a vampire demon, flying. But if an opponent will lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. Then we have Epicure of Blood. 4 generic and 1 black. Vampire. Whenever I gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So I do have a lot of these effects. So it is quite easy for me to be able to get the combo going. Then we have the Defiant Bloodlord 5 generic, 2 black, vampire. Fly. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. We have Hateful Eidolon for 1 black. It's a spirit, lifelink. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. And then we have the Dazzling Angel for 2 generic, 1 white, flying. Whenever another creature control enters, I gain 1 life. And then we have some creatures that lets me blink other creatures. So first we have Pegasus Guardian for 5 generic, 1 white, but I can play it as an instant and an adventure, Rescue the Foal for 1 generic, 1 white. Exile target creature you control, then return a card to the battlefield under its owner's control. But if I play it as a creature, it has flying. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, create a 1/1 white Pegasus creature token with flying. Then we have the Eldrazi Displacer for 2 generic, 1 white. It's an Eldrazi. It has the void, so this card has no color. 2 colorless and or 2 generic and 1 colorless symbol. Exile another target creature, then return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So it's good if I have a lot of mana, I have this out and people are targeting Mr. Negative, I can keep blinking him until I run out of mana basically. And it's good that I don't have to tap this creature to be able to do it. Then we have the Salvation Swan for 3 generic and 1 white. It's a bird cleric from the Bloomburrow set. It has flash, flying, and whenever Salvation Swan or another bird you control enters, exile up to 1 target creature you control without flying. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. So, you know, maybe we'll see a flying Mr. Negative. That would be pretty cool. And then we have Restoration Angel for 3 generic, 1 white. It's an angel, has flash and flying, and when Restoration Angel enters, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return the card to the battlefield under your control. Then we have some creatures that they do not blink anything or gain me life, but I think they are pretty fun. We have Falthies. Shadow Cat Familiar for 2 generic, 1 black. It's a nightmare cat. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. It is good to give Mr. Negative Menace and Death Touch if I want to make sure that I will want to hit someone with the lifelink and gain some life without him dying possibly. Then we have the Undercity Dire Rat for 1 generic, 1 black. Rat Tail. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. I put this in my deck because of the treasure token ability, because, you know, Mr. Negative is expensive. If I put this out early and it dies early, I gain a treasure. And then we can move on to my enchantments. I have some pretty fun ones. So the first one is the Monologue Tax. So for 2 generic, 1 white. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure token. You know, to be able to get Mr. Negative out as fast as I can. Then we have the Okiba Reckoner Raid for 1 black. Level 1 and 2, each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. And level 3 is Exile the Saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. And we can see what it does. It becomes Nizumi Road Captain. It's an enchantment creature, a rat rogue. It has Menace. And vehicles you control have Menace. Then we have the other part of the combo, which is Hunger of the Ancient One, Exquisite Blood. So 4 generic and 1 black. Whenever an opponent loses life, I gain that much life. We have one fun one, which you have seen on our channel in a gameplay, not in this deck, but in another deck. Teleportation Circle. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target artifact or creature you control, then return the card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Oh, this is a hilarious one, and it's so powerful, especially if you have a lot of cards in your hand and you can dispose of some of them. It is Solitary Confinement for 2 generic, 1 white. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Solitary Confinement unless you discard a card. You skip your draw step, and you have Shroud, so you can't be the target of spells or abilities and prevent all damage that will be dealt to you. So as long as you have cards that you can discard to have this up every upkeep, you're good. You're good to go. It's a lot of fun. I love this one. It's crazy. Then we have a card for people who love drawing cards. It's the Underworld Dreams for 3 black. Whenever an opponent draws a card, this enchantment deals 1 damage to their player. Yes, it's especially good for you, Andres. And then we have Righteous Cause for 3 generic and 2 white. So whenever a creature attacks, you gain 1 life. They don't have to attack you, can be attacking anyone, and I will be gaining life from it. Okay, then I have some sorceries, of course. So the first one is Queen's Commission for 2 generic and 1 white. I create 2 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink. This is good to get early, get some lifelink in. Oh, then we have one of my favorite ones that I think I won with this twice or something. It has been really fun. It's the Depth to the Deathless. It has generic X, 2 white and 2 black, but each opponent loses 2 times X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. They will probably die. Then we have Strategic Betrayal for 1 generic, 1 black. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. So it's good if people have graveyard shenanigans. You can stop that. Then we have Command the Dread Horde for 4 generic, 2 black. Choose any number of target creature and / or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Not in my graveyard, any graveyard. Command the Dread Horde deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards, and then put them onto the battlefield under my control. If someone has some interesting things in their graveyards and I want them on the battlefield, that's a good card. Then we have Walk the Plank, 2 black. I can destroy target non-merfolk creature. A little bit specific, but yeah. Then we have Bone Splinters for 1 black. As an additional cost to cast Bone Splinters, sacrifice a creature. Destroy target creature. We have an Epic Downfall for 1 generic, 1 black. Exile target creature with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Because sometimes destroying is not enough. You have to exile. Then we have Bone Shards for 1 black. As an additional cost to cast this spell, I sacrifice a creature or discard a card. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. And if I have a lot of cards in my hands, it will be easy to pay that. And then we have Vindicate. 1 generic and then Orzo. Destroy target permanent. So I can choose anything. Quite fun. And then of course we have some instants. I have to, instantly blink stuff. I have to protect Mr. Negative. Yeah, so you have Make a Stand for 2 generic, 1 white. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. Blessed Defiance for 1 white. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains lifelink until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. We have Flicker of Fate for 1 generic, 1 white. Exile target creature or enchantment, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Fleeting Flight, just 1 white mana. Put a +1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn and prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to it this turn. Union of the Third Path, 2 generic, 1 white. Draw a card, then you gain life equal to number of cards in your hand, which can be massive. We have Ephemerate, 1 white mana. Exile target creature control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. And it has Rebound, so if I cast a spell from my hand, I can exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana costs. We have a Bitter Downfall. So 3 generic and 1 black. This spell costs 3 generic less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. Destroy target creature, its controller loses 2 life. And the classic Swords to Plowshares for 1 white mana. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Emerge Unscathed. 1 white mana. Target creature control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, and it has rebound. We have Fake Your Own Death. 1 generic, 1 black. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, and I create a treasure token. So it's a good way to get another treasure token. Then we have Take Up the Shield. 1 generic, 1 white. Put a +1 counter on target creature, it gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. Then we have one of my favorite ones. It's Stunning Reversal for 3 generic, 1 black. The next time you would lose the game this turn, instead draw 7 cards and your life total becomes 1. And exile Stunning Reversal. Imagine if I do this and then I can blink Mr. Negative and my opponent gets 1 life. That's hilarious. Then we have Cast Down for 1 generic, 1 black. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Then we have Cloud Shift for 1 white mana. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under my control. We have Imp's Mischief, one of my favorite counter spells. 1 generic mana and 1 black mana. Change the target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Then we have Radiance Judgment. 2 generic, 1 white. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It has cycling for 2. I can discard this card and draw a card. Then we have Crushing Disappointment for 3 generic and 1 black. Each opponent loses 2 life. I draw 2 cards. We have a Deadly Dispute for 1 generic, 1 black. As an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. I draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. And lastly, we have a little gift. A Generous Gift. 2 generic and 1 white. I can destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token. And then I only have 2 artifacts. The first one is the classic Soul Ring. Gives me access to 2 colorless. And then we have an Arcane Signet. And you can add 1 mana of any color in my commander's color identity. And then let's take a look at some lands, because we need lands to be able to cast it on Mr. Negative. So we have Urza's Power Plant. I can add colorless. If I control an Urza's Mine and an Urza's Tower, I can add 2 colorless instead. But I need the colorless symbol because remember that Eldrazi, that I have to pay with a specific colorless symbol to be able to blink Mr. Negative. Then we have the Lupin Flower Village. I can add colorless, or I can add a white mana. I can spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. For 1 generic, 1 white mana, I can sacrifice this card and look at the top 6 cards of my library. I may reveal a bat, bird, mouse, or rabbit card from among them and put it into my hand. This usually isn't that relative to me. Then we have Insomnia, Crown City. It's a town, and it is tapped, but it gives me access to the Ores of Colors. Then we have Crossroads Village. It's also a town. It enters tapped, but as it enters, I can choose a color. And I add 1 mana of the chosen color. Then we have the most important land in my entire deck, which is the Reliquary Tower. Because when I draw all the cards, I don't want to discard down to 7. So I have no maximum hand size. Then we have an Ancient Den. It's an artifact land, and I can add 1 white mana. We have the Scarred Barrens. It enters tapped, but when it enters, I gain 1 life. And it gives me access to Ores of Colors. Then we have Goldmire Bridge. It enters tapped, but it's indestructible. It gives me access to Ores of Colors. Then we have the Restless Fortress. and it's battlefield tapped. It gives me access to the Orzhov colors, but for 2 generic and Orzhov, it becomes a 1/4 white and black nightmare creature until the end of turn. It's still a land, but whenever it attacks, defending player loses 2 life and I gain 2 life. And then we of course have some basics. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swamps. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 plains. And yeah, that is my Mr. Negative deck. I have a lot of fun doing this deck tech, going through all the cards, and I see some cards that I do want to take out, and I know which cards I want to put in, because I did get a few cards from Rowan for my birthday, which was a few days ago, and they will fit right in with Mr. Negative. So I'm gonna change up some things and see if they work better. But of course, let me know which cards you would put in, how you build Mr. Negative. I'm very curious and excited to see what you come up with. But yeah, thank you so much, and back to me and Andres in the studio. Yeah, so that was my very negative deck.
I hate it.
And it will put you in the negative.
I hate it. I hate it so much. What do you say? What do you say about the Underworld Dreams?
I mean, if you love drawing cards, then go ahead. Draw cards.
I hate everything about this deck right now. Oh my god! Not only think Blitzwing as the Transformers card was really interesting take as well there, because I'm now seeing so many decks run Blitzwing or the Underworld Dreams as well, because
but it's
so
just getting like
good.
Free value. Just at the end step, if an opponent lost life, they lose equal an amount of life.
Exactly.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It does the work for me.
Exactly. I really love
and
love
also
this.
the little flying demon does the same thing. And I don't have to do anything basically, except make opponents lose life.
Yeah, and kill them maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal.
That's the goal. Wow.
But I love that I'm in control. If someone is targeting me, I'm low life. Maybe I want to gain life before I lose it.
Yeah.
But of course, I want to lose it at some point to be able to draw that many cards and just
drain
win.
drain everyone out their life. It is super interesting take. Not only that, he's the draw powerful command zone.
Yeah.
It's super good. Okay. Hot take here. How many cards have you drawn with this guy for one turn?
I think the most 38. I will do better. I promise.
30.
I promise I will do
30
better.
is almost like half the fucking library. What the fuck?
Oh, and I remember I got that solitary confinement, that enchantment that gives me shroud, prevents everything. I had so much card that I could always pay the upkeep cost.
Oh my god.
I didn't have to draw cards because I kind of could win with all my cards in hands. And yeah, I was just rolling, chilling, having fun.
Of course, if you draw 38 cards, you basically have like one of the wing comes in your hand there.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I don't really have to do it as many times. I don't have to be like, oh, I have to do it again and draw as many cards. Usually I draw like 38, 30, and I'm good there. I have a way to win. I just need to get there before anyone, I don't know.
So try to
kill me, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love this commander so much. I think this is probably the most fun commander for me, at least this year. And it just connected with me so well.
It's really surprising we actually come for the Spider-Man set. And not only that, we know all the backlash about the Spider-Man here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that in our end of the year recap. You're gonna hear so many things. But yeah.
But a real life, like when the cards did good, they did really, really good. And Mr. Negative was one of the few cards that did really, really good according to me.
And I drew this at the pre-release that me and Anders were on. So I was super happy because I was like, I hope I will draw that Mr. Negative card because I didn't know so much about it. And then I did. I was like, oh my god, yes, I did. Super happy. But of course, we want to know, how have you built Mr. Negative and which card would you skip or would you put in? And let us know. I'm always interested in upgrading this one because I think I will be upgrading this deck a lot.
Oh wow.
It will be probably one of my favorite decks. This already is.
You're gonna your pet child here now?
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
This is definitely top 3.
Top 3? Wow.
Top 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite deck? What is on your first place there?
I mean, it always has to be child.
Okay, Child of Alara. All right.
But
Second one.
But then it's a tie between Mr. Negative and Okagachi.
Wow,
It is.
that is so sick, actually.
So, yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I'm super happy to have found this commander. Let us know how you have built this.
Exactly. So have you played a more reanimate style? Have you played a more blink style? Let us know.
Or are you just ramping like crazy? Because I also, of course, it costs 7 mana. Some people are just ramping, yeah.
So let us know in the comments.
Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.